So a lot of people have been asking me, when is Shiba Inu going to hit a new all-time high? When is it going to break past that 4088 mark? And can it still do some of these insane prices like we were talking about earlier on in this market cycle? 3 zeros 5, 2 zeros 1. Does it still have a 75x in the tank? We're going to talk about potential timelines for this happening and what does in fact need to take place first. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So just looking at SHIB right now, we're sitting at about 40134, 40135, kind of a modest day so far. US money is just starting to wake up. So we'll see what direction they decide to push this. It looks like some of the assets that were in a lot of green are starting to diminish. So a little bit of a sell day so far. But understand that from an overall perspective, we have seen this hard pivot for Shiba Inu. So since these levels all the way back here on March 10th, March 11th, SHIB has done a good job of gaining some ground. In fact, since that wick down, the very bottom of that wick, SHIB has climbed so far about 24% or so. And it's looking very good. And again, like I talked about in my earlier video, we're waiting for this bigger, broader breakout across the crypto market. But here's the thing. SHIB right now, just a little math for you guys, is about a 6x away from its prior all-time high. And I think people forget how quickly that can happen. What we've been lacking very much for meme coins in this market cycle is a meme season. The last time we had a meme season was all the way back in February through March of 2024. And we know that Shiba Inu did a 4.5x over the course of just 7 days. That is what excitement, that is what adoption can do for an asset. Now, when we look at this very long period since then, since SHIB's peak in the early part of this market cycle, guys, it's been 386 days. It's been over a year since we've actually had a true meme season. And why this is so important is, adoption is a very key part of retail-driven assets. You need to see new capital flowing into the space. You need to see excitement. We're such an immature market at this point where it's why you have these violent swings up and down, right? It's why SHIB will run and do a 400% move, but then it'll, a 500% move, and then it'll fall down and drop like 70, 80%. It's because we're still an immature market. Right now, Shiba Inu is only a $7 billion, almost $8 billion asset in the crypto space. It's quite small compared to 1.7 trillion for Bitcoin, right? Just for a little bit of comparison there. Now, here's the thing. What needs to happen for SHIB to start making some of these moves to an all-time high is a meme season. All right. You need retail excitement to be high, specifically for meme coins. When we take a look at what was taking place from the summer of 2024 to the fall of 24, winter of 24, SHIB actually made some very nice moves, right? It ran all the way from down in kind of these similar price ranges all the way up to 4033, but it did not eclipse what we saw in February through March of 2024. It did not breach this long-term trend for Shiba Inu. And why is that? Well, it's because we didn't have a true meme season. We saw fundamentals improving, which is a great sign. We saw foundational strength for Shiba Inu improving, which is a great sign. But if you don't have a season for that specifically, you're not going to make these big breakouts to the upside. It's why Doge hasn't had its all-time high break yet. It's why SHIB hasn't had its all-time high break yet. Some of the smaller meme coins are a little bit different because they're such small market caps. It's easier to move the needle, right? It's the new exciting thing until it's not, right? So for SHIB to truly make that move, we need a meme season. Well, what is going to drive a meme season? Adoption, right? We need a lot of that capital that's sitting on the sideline currently to start re-entering the space. Now, the good news is that some of this has started already. All right, we're starting to see this flow back to the space, and that's a great sign. Really, where I think things get exciting is around 4.5% USDT dominance. We're at about 5.11% currently, so we still have a ways to go. But what that is going to mean for SHIB is some volatility as we work our way up. Now, here's the thing. Meme season can get a little tricky because the switch can flip like it's nothing. And why I'm saying that is I want to show you guys meme coin search traffic over time. And some of these are just going to look like blips, right? But even looking at some of the more recent terms, you can go from 0 to 100, not literally, but figuratively speaking, very quickly. All right. Look at every one of these spikes. They're violent. They're violent. They're violent. They happen unexpectedly. Obviously, this the Trump and Melania meme coin search traffic kind of skews this entire chart. But even when you look back at 2021, even when you look back at the early part of 2021, when SHIB was going on these rip-roaring runs, it happened violently. It happened without notice. And this is why I keep saying that people need to be prepared. We could see a violent breakout at any time. And that is when you can see Shiba Inu go on this run to the upside. And frankly, what we're looking at for SHIB is a lot of great fundamentals, a lot of great strength. I think I lost my spot here, but we're still continuing to see whale accumulation take place. Yesterday, 136 billion Shiba Inu added. And now you have to pair in this outlier, which is supply and exchanges. Now, supply and exchanges I talk about a lot, and the reason why is when we look at, again, what triggers this meme season, adoption. Where are those people transacting? Where are they actually accumulating Shiba Inu at? It's happening on exchanges, right? They don't understand DeFi. They're not going to participate with shibarium or Uniswap or anything like that. They're going to be on your Robinhoods, your Coinbases, your Binances, wherever it may be. And that's where they're buying. But if that supply is dwindling, when that demand actually hits, it creates a supply shock. And that is where you could see, again, Shiba Inu moon to the upside. That's where you could see it breach some of these local resistances and set a new all-time high. Now, again, the big question everybody has, when is this happening? When is SHIB going to reach this 4088? Historically speaking, this spot that we're in right now is when this boom takes place. March, April, May, right? Obviously, right now we're about concluded with March and it hasn't happened yet. We haven't seen adoption taking place. What we need to see there is, again, sentiment needs to improve. Okay, we're at a 34 right now. We're still technically fearful in the market, but signs are shifting. Right, we're starting to see that movement towards a little bit more optimism, a little bit more excitement in the crypto market. And I think a lot of this shock that people have been in is starting to wear off, and that's good. Okay, so the conditions are now getting to a point where SHIB can breach past an all-time high. So now the question is, does it have enough in the tank for a 75x? Can it get to that 305 through 201? And I still think the answer is yes. Okay, now this isn't a guarantee or financial advice or anything like that, but when we talk about making those moves, I want people to understand, first of all, they're going to be violent. It's going to happen when people least expect it, and it's probably not going to hang around there for long. We're talking about wicks. We're talking about Shiba Inu candles that frankly might be, 80, 100, 150% daily candles. And again, what really makes this possible is this limited supply that's floating around. Some people might disagree with me in the sense that there's limited supply. And it's math, right? It's math. You're arguing with math. Good job. So anyways, sorry, I get people arguing with me on that all the time. But what we're seeing is, again, the setup for this big leg 3 breakout like we've been waiting for. This is kind of sucked as of late, right? It only sucks until it doesn't. Because when these moves start happening, gosh, I remember when SHIB ran from 202 to 2045 overnight, and basically everybody missed what happened. That's kind of where we're at in terms of SHIB. We're not here from a price standpoint yet, but we're here at a fundamental and a setup standpoint for these big breaks to the upside. If I had to be a betting man, I'd say that April, May could be a good opportunity for Shiba Inu to make these surges to a new all-time high. I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure, but we're shifting on a macro level towards better data. We are transitioning away from quantitative tightening. These are the global liquidities on the rise. I mean, the table is being set perfectly for these big booms. And really where SHIB can run to that 305 through 201 is later this market cycle. That'd be probably late 2025, early 2026 if we do get an extended cycle. And a big part of what that is the masses flowing into crypto. You're talking about, again, 400 million new people entering the crypto market that are not here right now. And it's going to happen very abruptly. All right. I can't even remember how many people entered the crypto market during here, but it was a lot. It was a lot of people, a lot of capital. And that's part of the reason why SHIB had such a boom that it did. When you look at something like GameStop in the stock market, that's what you could see for Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is kind of its own beast. Again, with the limited supply on exchanges, the conviction from the holders, it's kind of a perfect setup for the best performing asset in this market cycle of the top 20. So that's my thoughts on this. No, my assessments haven't changed. Again, I wish March would have been better, but you know what? It sucks to sucks. It sucks to suck. It happens, right? The cycles don't always play out perfectly. If you look at last cycle, we took off in February. Look at the cycle before, we took off in April. It varies, right? But that being said, we're in a better spot than ever for the big boom that is about to come in crypto. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. This one got away from me as far as time goes, but have a great day. Show your love below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.